Good morning. It's Saturday, October 12th, and today I want to talk about an event that takes place every year, and I'm not sure that it gets the recognition that it deserves. That event is the Nobel Peace Prize Award, and it's always difficult to predict who might receive a Nobel Peace Prize, because the nomination process attracts several hundred nominees every year, and since the Nobel Committee does not make public its top nominees, there is widespread speculation about who the winner might be, and lists of possible frontrunners are often based on guesswork or information put out by those who nominated the person or the group. But this year, the Nobel Peace Prize is awarded to a Japanese group of atomic bomb survivors. It was awarded on Friday to this Japanese group whose name is Nihon Hidenko, a grassroots movement of atomic bomb survivors. And it said in this award they have given it to them because of its efforts to achieve a world free of nuclear weapons. Now, this group has for decades represented hundreds of thousands of survivors of the U.S. atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which took place in 1945. And I remember those days when our planes went over there and dropped those bombs. And I remember that Harry Truman had to make that decision. And there are many who look back on that and think it was a terrible decision. But Truman did that when 1 million soldiers were prepared on the beaches of Okinawa to attack Japan. And he said he had to drop the bomb because he wasn't going to put those million U.S. soldiers at risk anymore. It was time to end that horrible war. So these survivors, who are known as the Hibakushi, are living memorials to the horror of the attacks, and they have used their testimony to raise awareness of the human consequences of nuclear warfare. And as far as the world knows, there has not been another use of nuclear weapons in war for over 80 years now. Now, when we look at the Nobel Prize, it is one of the world's most prestigious honors, and it recognizes a group at the time when the survivors of the attacks, which killed over 200,000 people, and I thought the number was more like 500,000 people. And these people who are getting this award are in their 80s, and they're dying. Hundreds each month of these people are dying because they've lived a long time after the bomb took place. And it comes at a time when the world is starting to worry about Russia and Russia's threats that it could use its nuclear arsenal in the war with Ukraine. Because Russia has proven to the world that it's not the mighty nation that it was. It can't win a war by a nation that's 1/4 of its size. So Russia is on the brink of threatening a nuclear weapon. And maybe the world will wake up and put an end to that war because of the threat. But I hope if they do that they don't acquiesce to any crazy request on the part of the Russians. And the world continues to worry about the nuclear programs of Iran and North Korea because those nations are in trouble with gaining respect in the world. Now, I don't think that North Korea is going to do anything crazy, but Iran, who can trust them? Anyhow, the Hibakushi help us to describe the indescribable and to think the unthinkable and to somehow grasp the incomprehensible pain and suffering caused by nuclear weapons. That's what the chairman of the Norwegian Nobel Committee said during his announcement. He also added that the extraordinary efforts by the survivors of the U.S. nuclear bombings, including those who are part of the Nihon Hidanko, have contributed greatly to the establishment of the nuclear taboo. He said they had led to a world in which no weapons of that type have been used in 80 years. He has stated that he is alarmed to see the recent fading of the taboo against using nuclear weapons. He's afraid that countries like Iran and maybe Russia might violate what has been an 80-year suspension of using nuclear weapons. Now, the Nobel Committee also put out a statement that honored all the survivors who, despite the physical suffering and painful memories, have chosen to use their painful experience to cultivate hope in the world. The Peace Prize is arguably the most distinguished of the Nobel Prizes. And its many recipients have often been celebrated global figures like Nelson Mandela and President Barack Obama and the Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, and Malala Yousafzai. Those are people who have received the Nobel Peace Prize. And now we have given this prize to the survivors of the nuclear attack. And that's a wonderful choice. And it's a reminder to the entire world that can come in an instant if some nation goes off the wall for the wrong reasons. So this prize was awarded to the right group in my mind with the state of the world right now. So I leave you with that. A wonderful award of the Nobel Peace Prize. A prize which has been around since 1901 and constantly reminds us that there are many out there who are doing good for their communities and for the rest of the people in the world. So have a great day. Think about the Nobel Peace Prize. Set your mind at ease. Take care. Bye.